migraine, hypertension, stress. Boy. God of War fans, were you killed? 40 VRAM GPUs. Sadly, yes. VRAM requirement bypass. But I lived. How I felt as a kid when I found two sticks that were the same length. Norse-based media when they want to come up with an exciting premise for its story. It has now been 11 days since God of War Ragnarok was released, but its graphics still hold up today. The God of War when the God of Peace walks in. Game of the Year awards be like God of War, Ragnarok, Elden Ring, Goat Simulator 3. When your mother wants to turn off the internet, but you are playing an offline game. You have no power here. Me 15 years ago. Wow, it's been almost 3 months since I've done a run on one of these games. Let's do a new one. Me now. I haven't touched one of these games in over 4 years. I prefer the real God of War. I said the real God of War. Perfection. Me trying to the name of the game about a God of War. Zeus, the god of all gods. Hades, guardian of underworld. Eris. Really getting into a tense part of the game. Dying a lot. Enjoying it regardless. After a number of doubts, the game asks if you want to play it on easy mode. The Olympus. You can't defeat me. The Titans. I know, but he can. Kratos. What it feels like to chew 5 gum and take a drink of ice water. I'm telling ya it's Fimbulwinter. I can feel it in my scrot. When you beat the game on the hardest mode, just to unlock an even harder difficulty. Shut, here we go again. When you wake up and look at your phone on full brightness, feel the power of the sun. People saying Kratos is the god of war because the game is named God of War. Eris, am I a joke to you? Elden Ring and God of War fans when Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton wins Game of the Year. You challenge me, mortal, a god of Olympus. Zeus, head of all gods. Hades, god of the underworld. Eris, peace was never an option. In the end, Hercules, Meg, and other gods lived happily ever after. Boy. Me after replaying God of War 2018 because I can't afford Ragnarok. Ragnarok spoilers. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. Oh my god. Doom Guy's the most brutal and merciless protagonist in gaming history. Kratos who basically popularized gore and violence. Visible confusion. When you get your wisdom teeth removed and the anesthesia finally wears off. Boulder, I can feel everything. The other Olympian gods, why are there so many demigods all of a sudden? Zeus. Fight for Game of the Year. God of War Ragnarok. Elden Ring. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. The Game Awards 2022. Elden Ring plus Bill Clinton. God of War Ragnarok. Atreus, you're not giving Odin a chance. Mimir who was textured by Odin every day for a 109 winters. Zeus, god of everything. Hades, god of the dead. Eris. Zeus, CEO of God. Hermes, the messenger. Kratos. My full undivided attention. God of War Ragnarok. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Love the Twilight reference in God of War. Hold on tight, Spider Monkey. CJ in God of War. Sleep. Me. Gunshots. Why would God of War do this? PC can't run God of War? Really? Then explain this. Traveling Sun says, I feel bad that the elves lost their tree. Traveling Warrior says, why? Traveling Sun says, you told me that we orcs once lost our home. Greebram Rocket yells, the Zeppelin to War song hold has just arrived. All aboard for Borean Tundra. Traveling Warrior says, that was long ago. Traveling Sun says, didn't it make everyone sad? Traveling Warrior says, we were, not ourselves. It is difficult to explain, boy. Traveling Sun says, mother spoke of it sometimes. I think it made her cry. Traveling Sun says, I don't think anyone should lose their home. Not if it makes them feel like that. Traveling Warrior says, you have your mother's heart. Sounds of Kratos doing his taxes. Father, not now, boy. Kratos watching Jesus resurrect after being defeated and stating he still loves Kratos despite all of his sins. He regrets his actions that weigh upon his soul. God of War photo mode is weird. Looking at the God of War Ragnarok reviews. Sister's wedding. God of War Ragnarok release day. You guys have God of War, we got Deity of Battle. Xbox One boss Phil Spencer congratulates Sony on stellar God of War review scores. Phil Spencer. Thor in God of War. Thor in Endgame. When you're about to die in God of War and Atreus says father you're hurt. Yeah, no shut, honey. Geez dad, why don't you love me, my boy? John Travolta on God of War Ragnarok ad with Ben Stiller and LeBron James. Exhales in Travolta. Kratos smiling next to a seagull. It's time for you to look inward and start asking yourself the big questions. What happened to your double jump? RTX off. 1060. RTX on. RTX 5090. Kratos then. Evil mother ducker who would drown his enemies in the blood of their own children. Kratos now. Crying beta butch clock. What happened? We became better. Name any fictional character that can easily know death these two at the same time. Kratos when a gumball machine says Mordecai and Rigby stop the God of War or you're fired. The fact that PlayStation's best 3 franchises have LGBTQ leads. God of War reboot. God of War Egypt. God of War Project Giant. The Bill of Olympus. Playing God of War as a father. I can't believe mother is dead. I miss her. Silence your quivering face holes, boy. Oh come on. Where's the hug button? Press X to dad. Tap 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 tap. If the remaster is real, do you think they gonna remove select scenes? Kratos, God of War, Slayer of Gods and Giants, defeated by a trailer. Theory, Kratos and Atreus won't reunite until over 100 years have passed in universe. Side note, I asked father once how he didn't realize mom wasn't a normal Midgard woman, if he met her so long ago and she still looked so young and vibrant when I was little. He said, when you have lived for centuries, talk to me again about what a decade here or there feels like. I seriously can't tell if he was joking or not. Knowing father though, probably not. The look of concern and overall sadness Kratos has when Atreus is sick is so good to see. Character development and progression shining through here. What was your reaction when Kratos converted to Islam mid-game and became Abdullatus? Objectives. The realms are safe. For now. But there is much to do. Much destruction to repair. Freya, Mimir, and I will see to it together. Continue to Greece. Me memorizing the attack patterns of the boss, so I can die to it more intelligently. According to my friend Daniel RPK, God of War is heading to Egypt. Sony is casting Middle Eastern actors for an unknown AAA game, which is likely to be the next God of War that explores Egyptian mythology. What I expect from today's state of play, God of War, remake, what I will get. When there's no classic God of War remaster, and you realize that the rumor was likely based on the now cancelled live service game. The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. 9 months in my womb making me suffer, and you look exactly like your mom. Who would win? The literal god of the underworld. A bunch of tiny adorable cyclops creatures. Who are they expecting to operate these mechanics? There must be like 3 people in the 9 realms with enough strength. Keep your expectations low, boy, you will never be disappointed. I picked up a copy of the old DC God of War comics, and this panel is way funnier than it was probably meant to be. Is this piece of dialogue supposed to be a joke or a bug? It actually passes me off. Mimir, I've seen you stay awake for days at a time without so much as a drooping eyelid. Any man when he loses someone makes this face. Do not deny me my monkey. Zeus, I will have my monkey plushie. Who's a lesser known god you'd like to make an appearance in the next God of War game? After Ingrid's remains were retrieved from the ruins of Asgard, Atreus took it to Freya, where she reforged and revitalized it, replacing the pommel with a new one, granting the sword attunement to sonic vibrations. Although no longer conscious and able to operate on its own, Atreus can throw the sword and call it back to himself, much like the Leviathan axe, except Atreus can also call himself to the sword, acting as a sort of grappling tool. Additionally, the sword can detonate and create an explosion around it before being called back. The bow serves as a piece of Fae that Atreus carries with him, so Ingrid should serve as a piece of Freya and a symbol of the change Atreus inspired in her, accepting her as a part of his family. Shouldn't Kratos have lost his cloak by now? Faye, he found his way inside, as I said he would. The bulk bear and the right wolf. POV, you're about to witness a massacre. Eminem if he was a god of war. Slim Shady, the god of war. What went wrong? False gods caged and cast unto the lake of fire. Copious amounts of mead. Thank goodness the misogynistic Greek gods are not popular in this age of onions. People thinking smiling Kratos is all that new. Dad, boy, and head striker pose. How dare you? Why do you make all this foolishness? Do you think killing gods will solve your problems? No, I just do this for hobby. Bad boy and good boy, we are gods. We can do whatever we want. Get out of my head. You can't defeat me, I know, but he can. Hello Sunny from Amori. Hello Kratos from God of War. Game of the year 2022 about to be like Red Dead Redemption 2, Elden Ring. Kratos sinking back into his old ways. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm here to fight Christianity. I'm gonna win. Be not afraid. Oh duck. Christianity wins. This is such a good design. Can't wait to see kids seething because they got brick shuthouse Thor into defeat Chris Hemsworth Thor. Level 1. Level 50. Level 99. I'm surprised they decided to model Thor the correct way. In Norse mythology, Thor can outdrink anyone. He reflects this in God of War. Salute Sony Santa Monica. Thor had a crazy transformation. PS1 to PS5. How to pass off gamers. I mean, Mimir straight up called Thor a fat dobber in the previous game. Why do people act surprised now to see the god of thunder having a beer belly? Boy, when a man and woman are in love, they fight in brutal combat, but they don't really fight. I mean it's a metaphor. Like birds, bees, horse, man. Like ever wonder where centaurs come from? Like axe, sword, pens. This is the ideal male body. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. Go home crying to your dad, oh duck. I have an army. We have a Hulk. Dad, boy. God of War Valkyries. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am. All I know is that I must destroy. The last time he hugged his family was a very traumatic experience. He's gotten rusty at it. Koalas. You're doing really great, dude. Just one thing. Wouldn't hurt to hug your kid every once in a while, ya know? I'm confused. Is that not what is happening here? Dying at this culture. Not at all. I didn't want a Thor Barbie like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I wanted to see a warrior Thor, and this Thor doesn't look like a great warrior at all. Wait, you're saying your kid doesn't know you're a god, or whatever? He doesn't think it's weird you can heft around houses and shut? It's true the boy doesn't get out much. I don't think he's aware it's unusual at all. Though it does entertain me, he believes you're desperately weak. Hey, thanks for that. Boy, you know you are my favorite son. I thought I was your only son. Snackus, Centilid, Birdus, Minaboy, Swarnicus, Bugo, Void Child, Dog. Dang dang dang. Come on Kratos. Dang dang dang. Let's kill some dacking gods. Dang dang dang. God of War Ragnarok will be the last game in the Norse mythology story. Gods from other mythologies hearing that. Me, I'm making a Norse themed campaign. So I'm doing a bunch of research on Vikings and Norse lore. The research. God of War. Assassin's Creed. Valhalla. God of War. Boy did we beat Jonazi. Son of War. No father, that was Pele. Teacher. Today we'll be going over the Greek mythology of the cosmos. Kid who read Percy Jackson. Girl who's into zodiac signs. Stop crying. It's just a game. The game. Gaming recommendation. If you like God of War, you should try the Polar Express. Kratos. God of War. Zagreus, I have a request. If you pass by Elysium's divine gates and cross the path of a soul called Calliope, make sure she's alright. God of War. Did we beat Uncle Grandpa? Son of War. No father. That was belly bag. Inhales deeply. Boy. The perfect game doesn't exist. Playing God of War as we speak. Huh, if you're gonna play your video games all day, then I'm just gonna leave. Me. Okay, bye. That was always allowed. Bear of War. Where are we going? In the direction of deer. Can kill gods. Can't break wooden door. Zeus, CEO of the gods. Hades, god of the underworld. Poseidon, god of the oceans. Eris. Stuff people say Kratos. It's say me Kratos. And I just wanted to tell you that Nintendo won E3. I like how the ghost of Sparta himself is in the game. Kratos, god of war. You're young and full of energy. Zagreus. Consider having a good time with the harlots you meet on your journey. They were a pleasant distraction back in the days. I can still see myself rotating my joystick until all my pottery falls on the ground. Shut. Part 1 of 3. Accepting your dealt. Kratos, killer of the gods. He protect. He attack. But most importantly, he come back. Well, Gillette. Now we know why Kratos stopped shaving. Atreus, who would kill his own father, Kratos. I heard he's immune to all treats, physical and magical. Thor, Odin. Atreus. I have an uncle, Kratos. You had an uncle. Me on New Game Plus. Every Valkyrie in the game. All of Mimir's boat stories. Me going to sleep. Actual image of my dad. Stepping on a Lego. I'm confused. Did the director forget the earlier games that he himself made were to slice and cut through blood bucket badass monsters and feel like a badass manly man? Was that toxic masculinity? I don't know. Watch him cry on YouTube and feel your tights fill with estrogen instead. God of War's director on toxic masculinity and why Kratos had to change. Game director Cory Barlog reflects on how and why Kratos has evolved. God of War exists. Spider-Man exists. Red Dead Redemption 2 also exists. Fortnite wins Game of the Year. It seems God left this cursed land long ago. Hooey. Yeah, I'm a freaking god as it turns out. Shy, I'm all about that axe life. That handsome devil next to me, fam, that's literally my boy. He can thank me for his good looks and formative trauma. It's not easy fighting heckin' Vikings. But honestly, being a parent Ragnaroks. Kratos used Gilhutine. A critical hit. It's super effective. Dad of War and boy. Me watching Kratos go down another slow ace elevator for the 19th time. Howdy strangers. Name's Kratos. Let me guess. The god of war? I've no idea what you's blabbering about. Howdy strangers. Name's Kratos. Let me guess. The god of war? Eris, god of war. Zeus, god of all gods. Cerberus. The world is vast and dangerous. Atreus. You must be strong and focused. I won't always be here to protect you, boy. You must learn to fend for yourself. Now get on my back like a baby koala while I climb this wall. I'm a backpack. Studying for a Norse mythology test normally. Studying for a Norse mythology test by sitting in a boat and waiting for Mimir to tell you the right story. Kratos when Manny told him to surrender. No, I don't think I will. He's probably thinking about other girls. I wonder who blew the horn. I need answers. Me on my way to fight Sigrun. Let's go. In and out. 20 minutes adventure. Me after dying 756 times. Screams. I'm gonna kill myself. Dude, after everything you just did, you might wanna flee the country. Honestly. Exactly. Give yourself a fresh new start. Perhaps you are right, odd looking creatures. This lawn isn't gonna mow itself, boy. Autistic man and his son beat 22 people to near Delton Greek slum. God of Chungus. Kratos is on the nice list. You do know he killed people, right? Who hasn't? God of War 4 thoughts. When you see the story takes place in Northern Europe and incorporates Norse mythology, I'm here for it. When you see they kept a Kratos lookalike as the protagonist instead of woman, despite the fact that women warriors are common in Norse mythology and there's a goddess of war in Norse myths. They call me Mimir, the smartest man alive, and I have the answer for your very question. Does vegan Minecraft players eat meat in Minecraft? Okay, there are few gaps in my knowledge. Don't talk to me or my wife's son ever again. Is it me, or does the kid have a faint outline of the red streak Kratos has? Just duck my franchise up. He does. Oh look, it's the pole meme again. V is as unoriginal and unfunny as ever. I don't like this meme. So it must be from Pole.